Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums. 'Tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, I've got myself a lovely cup of tea, and I'm going to be talking to you guys out there in the viewerverse about all the games that I've seen over Summer Games Fest and over this weekend that I've put on my wish list over on Steam. Yeah, sadly, Light No Fire did not appear in that event. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. But anyway, let's have some good news first. And let's talk a little bit about the games that I saw that I did like, that I wish listed. So there was a game called Hawthorn, which looks pretty darn nice. Let me just hit this up. Hopefully it's going to open in a new tab. Here we go. It's made that big screen. Looks quite nice, this one. Let me come off the screen a bit. So, I think this game looks rather whimsical, and I think it looks pretty darn good. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's the best game ever, and I'm super excited for it. What I like about this, it just feels a bit different. It reminds me of Wind in the Willows, a TV show I used to watch when I was a kid, and I think it looks good enough to at least give it a try and give it a look. Because it's so different. I mean, it's blatantly... It looks like it's an Unreal Engine game, doesn't it? But at the same time, it looks decent enough. Decent enough to at least consider a purchase occasion. I'm going to watch more on it. It looks like it's got online multiplayer. So it could be something quite fun to partake in. Right, so we got that. We've got Hawthorn. We've also got this one, Guardians of the Wild Sky. This looks insane. Oh, yes, there we go. Let's see if there's a video for this one. Is there a video? Oh, come on, be a video. You're having a laugh. Let me just jump over to YouTube and let me see if I can find you a trailer for this one, because this one's worth a watch.
Captain Steve, oh Captain Steve, oh Captain. Heck yeah, why not hit that like and subscribe? Thank you very much.
Chums, here's the trailer over on the Tinterwebs on YouTube. So here we go. Air Dragon, that's how you start a freaking trailer. All footage captured in online multiplayer. So this looks pretty darn interesting. It looks like you're shipwrecked and you're on this island, like a million other games. I like the mining mechanics. That looks nice. There's capture mechanics there of creatures. Air whales, air jellyfish! And you can turn yourself into a dog pigeon! Yeah, it's freaking lovely. What the fudge are you, mate? You're freaking out of it. Oh, look at that. You can summon as well. Summon creatures. And mounts. And you can ride the mounts. I'm liking the biome, all this jungly effect, which is nice. Hopefully there's other biomes. But I'm liking the creatures, I'm liking the buildings look cool. The actual harvesting of resources looks great. Looks like you're going to be doing a bit of farming, because I saw a creature actually watering stuff, a little bit like Power World. Whatever buildings you can make them float and take to the skies, which is pretty cool. It looks like you can actually transform into creatures. It's got everything in this. 2 creatures merged into one then. It's got Finchan. It looks pretty darn cool. I saw gliders then as well. This game looks like a love child of many games all spliced into one. Are they trying to do too much? Are they going to pull it off? I like the look of this one. This is Guardians of the Wild Sky. And yeah, I'm going to be picking this one up. Hence why it's on my wish list. Pretty darn freaking epic. Look, there you go. They built this bird base and it took off. Looks like it's got a few dungeons in there as well. Magic. Air combat against other players. So maybe PvP and PvE inside this game and cooperative play. I think this has it all. My worry is, are they trying to do too much of it? Guardians of the Wild Sky. Heck yes. So there's that one, people. I'll leave YouTube open just in case we come across another one that doesn't have a trailer inside my wish lists. But yeah, so that's Guardians of the Wild Sky. Interesting, that one. Interesting indeedy doody. Next one is called Thrive. Heavy Lies the Crown. And this one you can add to cart right now, but it's in early access. Now, I've been after a decent RTS strategy game for years. The last one that I played that I really liked was Lord of the Rings. And this one's got giant creatures in. And it looks like it could be on par-ish. The graphics look great in the actual towns that you can build. It does look nice. I like the icons. It looks very intuitive. And it looks beautiful. I used to like a game called Black and White as well, where you had like these guardians of your township and you was almost a god. And in this, you're kind of treated like a god. You can rule as a tyrant. Yeah. But then there's giant wars that unfold with giant creatures like this. So I'm interested in this one. It's ticking a few boxes. Release date June 18th. So that's not far off. I might be picking that up. Depending on, well, we can see the full price, can't we? It's $22.99, which isn't too bad, is it? But what I might do, because I'm not super excited for it, what I might do is just wait. Hold on, there's another trailer there. Let's hit that up just while I'm talking. It's only 1:22, isn't it? And I haven't seen this one myself. So I might wait until there's a couple of reviews. This one's got talking. Let's turn it up a bit.
Nissamore is the future, a land thought to be free from the terrors of the past. You've established a settlement here, consulted your loyal advisors. They may be wise, but none can deny their own self-interest. In the end, you alone must define your rule. In the shadows, the Walgrim returns. The plague and decay you've tried to outrun. There are those that see the potential of harnessing the ancient power, and those with the fortitude to rise above it, finding strength in the light. Some may make sacrifices in order to survive, made out of desperation, or for the strategic upper hand. But whatever may come, you will not fear it. Let it in. The Walgrim calls to you. Now is your time. This is your land, your kingdom. There is no going back.
Yeah, I think that one has got potential. I mean, there were some elements inside of that trailer where some of your residents can rise up and stuff that could make it more interesting or could just make it frustrating as fudge. So it could go either way, that one, couldn't it? So what I was saying is I might wait until there's a couple of reviews and then hit that one up. I mean, it's not a great deal, but it's... Nah. Okay, the next one, I hit this up because it looks different. Not so much that I really like it, but I used to have these little figures of knights on horses, and it just reminds me of my childhood of when I used to play with those.
Since we've got
there is a demo for this.
time in the world.
Oh, this one's got talking too. Let's turn this one up a bit.
Let me tell you a story about King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. It was a mythical time when being a knight really meant something.
Love the art style.
For them, honor was worth even more than life. But they knew how to spare their adversary when he deserved it. They courageously confronted the treacherous and deceitful, and delivered justice to the poor and oppressed. They served their king and queen loyally, in war and in peace, because they knew that their sovereigns would support them in return when they needed it. Magic was everywhere. And fairies, dragons, and giants were part of every great adventure. Above all, it was a time when the strength of warriors came from love, not hate. Listen to this story and learn, young knight.
Now, inside of that trailer...
When reality is nothing but lies.
Okay, she's still chatting, isn't she? But if I just roll this back a bit. You see at the top here... One second. You see at the top here, you've got all this text. Now, this is like a storybook. As long as all this text is narrated and voice spoken rather than reading it myself, because I've got dyslexia, I kind of struggle with a lot of reading. I could quite get into this, I think. It might not be one that would be great for live streaming if it is a narrative-driven story and I've got that talking. It's like me trying to do voiceover right now. Even that was a bit of a struggle when you got her talking. It might be something that I play, do a first impressions video of, and also do a review of. Now, I can do that quite comfortably with the demo. There is a demo available right now, and I think I'm going to be downloading that and bringing that to my channel throughout the week. So look out for a first impressions video and a review video of that if that interests you. The reason it interests me is I just think it looks great graphically. I mean, I think people are going to either love or hate the graphics inside of that game. So we'll give that a try. The next one is a cute game called Hela. And it's very much like Hawthorn in a roundabout way. But this one looks very sandboxy. Here we go. So this one hasn't got no talking. But I love the little backpacks. They look like little frogs or little green mice on their backs. I think they're supposed to be frogs. But you can glide with them. Look. And not only that, you can use them like trampolines to get up to higher areas. There's this rope mechanic that looks like it's a rip-off straight from Spider-Man, but it's so much more gentle. And again, this is very whimsical, very wholesome. And I kind of like games that are more like this, a slower pace. I'm not really into the fast action craziness games. I've played Elden Ring, I just played Doom. But if you saw me play Doom, the Dark Ages, you'll see what I mean. It's just not for me. I like to just chillax. And I like a game that I can pick up, play, makes me smile, and I can put it down and get on with my day. I do like the odd game every now and again where you can take out your frustrations and really go to town, but I do like games that just slow you down a bit, make you take in stuff, you know, and I think that one is a very good game for that. So that's why that's on my wish list. I mean, I'm not super excited. I'm not super excited for any of these. No, not super, apart from maybe Wild Sky. Guardians of the Wild Sky, if that works and works right, I think we're in for a freaking treat. And that's coming out third quarter of 2025, Guardians of the Wild Sky. That one, I think, is going to be bigger than people think. A little bit like how Power World hit. Okay, I think Wild Sky has that same sort of level of potential. Anyway, this one is freaking weird, and it was the main one that grabbed my attention during watching Jason over the weekend. So it's actually puppets, but it's a video game, obviously. And it's a little bit like Super Punch-Out, if you remember Super Punch-Out. You're an unadoptable orphan, and you go into a boxing sort of thing. You get trained to become... Yeah, it's got some adult language in it. You may have heard some then. But yeah, you've got to box your way to the top of a boxing ladder as this puppet. It could be fun. It could be weird. And for those reasons, I want to play it. All these games, you may have noticed, look a bit different. They don't look like they're a copy and paste of anything else that's on the market. And I like that from video games developers. You know, I've been playing video games since I was titchy tiny, since the Atari 2600. And it's very rare that a game goes, this is worth looking at. This looks like it's worth going for. So you got plunge toilets, dodge toast being thrown at you, all sorts of zany training methods. And then you go up against guys like this. It looks like it could be fun. And I loved Super Punch-Out on the Nintendo. It's about time that we had something fun and entertaining that does something similar on other platforms. This could be that game. I hope it is anyway, because I was a massive fan of Super Punch-Out on the Super Nintendo and also on the NES, the very first Nintendo. That one is definitely on my radar, but it just says to be announced. A lot of these just say to be announced or coming soon, but some of them, you know, like Legends of the Round Table, has got a demo right now. So this one, though, although it says coming soon, this has got a free to play sort of label on it. So I look, the demo is available right now. Check this out. This has got some really cute mechs. Oh, I bet this gets flagged, doesn't it? I'm going to turn that right down. That music is bound to get flagged, isn't it? But this looks like it could be quite good fun. I'm going to have to actually fire up the demo, make sure it hasn't got any copyrighted tracks in it, because if they've got a copyrighted track as their actual trailer, there's a good chance they're going to have copyrighted tracks anyway. But this looks cool. I like the cute mechs. I like the little characters that you put in them. It's not being overly serious. It's got the same sort of mechanics as like Cyber Sled from the old Namco game, or it looks that way anyway. I think this could be a fun little title. I don't think it's going to be something that stays on my channel long. It's probably, again, going to be something that I do a first impressions of, a quick review of, and maybe 1 or 2 episodes just to show the gameplay. A little bit like how I did with Meet Your Maker or something like that. In fact, Meet Your Maker stayed on my channel for a little while because I did actually thoroughly enjoy that. But there could be a chance that this might be thoroughly enjoyable, and I might end up playing that as well. Anyway, I'm going to hit download on that. We're going to have that one installing right now. And I'm going to go back to my wish list. And where was the other one? Knights of the Round Table. That one had a demo too. So I'm going to download that as well. I'm going to have both of those come into my channel within the week. The eagle-eyed of you out there are probably thinking, Captain Steve, what else is on your wish list that wasn't inside the show? Well, I've got a couple of other titles. Now, Dragon's Dogma 2 is actually on sale right now at £22 or 67 pence. I am kind of thinking maybe I should hit this up while it is in the sale and make good on that. And retry it on my PC. Because before I was playing it on the PlayStation 5. On the PlayStation 5 it was too dark at night. I couldn't see nothing. And there was too many enemy spawns. I have heard that they've put out an update which allows you to adjust things on PC and makes it a lot more playable. I might get that and I might try it again and I might redo a review. It's just, is it worth spending 23 quid on it? I might have to do a poll. I'll do a poll and see what people think. Because it's either purchase that or purchase Thrive's Heavy Lies the Crown. What I might do is do a poll on those 2 games, ask which one people would like to see, and I might go for one of those. Just during this quiet period in No Man's Sky and why they're fixing it, because it's broken to fudgery at the moment. Okay, so other games on here. I've got a few. I've got Light No Fire. We didn't see that. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Under a Rock. Freaking awesome game. I've done lots of videos on Under a Rock. Be sure to go check that out. For the Stars. That looks interesting. And it's definitely something worth a look, people inside the Viewerverse. Give it a little look-see. It's got mixed game mechanics inside of it. You know what? I'll show you it because I don't think I've shown this off too much to people out there. Here we go. I'm not sure about this one. This is another one where I think I need to see reviews before I get overly excited for it. There's things inside of this that makes me feel a little bit nervous about it, and other bits that are making me feel pretty excited for it.
A survival MMO in space. You might call it an open universe sandbox game, with a focus being on exploration and scientific advancement. We're making this game for everybody, for people who love survival games like we do, people who are fascinated by science fiction and space and want to see what would happen, you know, in that proverbial what if. What if this capability to go into space was real and it was here and it was now? How would it be different from what we expect space to be like? And I want people who want to explore that question to be able to join us on this journey. Survival is the core of Snail Games' pedigree. It's what we've spent so much time working on, so we know that genre really well. And ultimately, a lot of this has been coming to this culmination of a point where we can get what we think is the ultimate survival game. We have been working on some pretty interesting technologies to support what we're trying to accomplish, but we've actually taken a couple risks here. One of the areas that we're taking a risk in is trying to take voxel technology, which allows complete world building from the core of a planet out. We're going to have some planets that you can dig all the way through. Given that we're a realism art style, that's a really hard ask. It's something that other people haven't done in this genre before. core mechanics of the game really revolve first around exploration, going out and finding all these planets, seeing what sorts of unique resources they have, but also what challenges you're going to need to overcome. And, you know, to do that, you've got a plan for it. In addition to that, we also have research and crafting, the ability to take things that you find on one planet and craft and research different solutions that are nothing like what you would find on another planet. One of the great stories we want to explore here is what is different about humanity once we have the capability of expanding to other parts of the universe? How is that going to change our identity?
Okay, I think you can see why I wishlisted this one. It's very No Man's Sky, isn't it, really? Now, what I didn't like about this trailer too much is there was a lot of him speaking and not enough of the gameplay. What we did see of the gameplay was just fractions of gameplay. So that one's got me excited and nervous at the same time. And I think other people will probably feel the same way on that one, to be fair. But there we go. There's that one. Now, there's Light of Motiram. I think I did a separate video on this. If you haven't seen Lights of Motiram, it's another game that's a little bit like Guardians of the Wild Sky. I'm super excited for it, but it looks like it's trying to do too much at once, and can they actually pull it off? Or is it one of these scam type trailers and the game's never actually going to appear? Look, for those that haven't seen this, here you go. I'll hit play on it.
The outcast forest seethes with defiance. Thickens with dread. It is where the Daramans cast out the unwanted.
You can make your own creatures.
Though trapped in this accursed place, the outcasts never forget. Their true home lies on the plains. The past will be rewritten. As the mists reweave the threads of time, this journey will not be easy. You'll need courage, wisdom, and a heart that craves battle. Fall or rise. The choice is yours.
Wow. Okay, chums, this trailer's a new trailer. I haven't seen this, but I love the creature design. It looks like things called Zoids that I used to have when I was a kid. The combat looks very much like Monster Hunter meets Elden Ring, especially with the sort of like parrying and striking. This looks really interesting. This looks really captivating. And I really like the meld of sort of like fantasy and sci-fi combined. That ticks a lot of boxes for me. It does say to be announced. It could be a little way off, but it's definitely one that's on my radar. The last game on my wish list is Action Game Maker. If you're not familiar with the Maker series of games, I used to be really into RPG Maker XP, or back on Windows XP. But this one has got a side-scrolling element where you can either make a side-scrolling game, or you can make yourself a top-down RPG game like this. So it's got two different modes of Maker inside of it, and it looks fairly intuitive, not as intuitive as the ones I'm used to. It's going to have a learning curve. I don't know whether I've got the time to invest in making a giant game, but the planned release date is the 17th of June, in 8 days. The only thing is, this has got rather a gnarly price tag, or so I'm hearing from their Discord and places like that. You're looking at around 100 quid, £100 for this, apparently. I mean, it's not official, so take that with a grain of salt. It does look interesting, but I don't think this is for everyone, you know. And the type of games you're going to be making on it are quite retro-esque. I've got a few ideas for games that I would like to make and bring to the verse. But anyway, let's come out of Steam for a moment, people. And I will be talking a little bit about Light No Fire now, and the fact that it didn't appear at the Game Awards, well, not the Game Awards, but Summer Game Fest or the Future Game Show, which is mainly focused on indie game developers.
Captain Steve, oh Captain Steve, oh Captain. Heck yeah, why not hit that like and subscribe? Thank you very much.
Okay, this part of the show, well, I've done a poll. So many people hoped we'd see Light No Fire at Summer Games Fest, given a release date for 2025. The next real big show will be the Games Awards in December. It's not looking likely that Light No Fire will appear until 2026 for release at this rate. When Sean was on stage, when they revealed Light No Fire, there was lots of talks of 10 years. And people are speculating that Light No Fire will release in 10 years to the month of the release of No Man's Sky. What do you think? Before you actually chime in and give your answer to this poll, I'll hit up that bit of footage where Sean Murray is talking to Jeff Keighley about the 10 years and all that sort of stuff. Because when you're watching it back now, you know, it's a fair few years on, we're closer to 2026. It kind of makes me think we're not going to see anything for the next, well, until the 10th anniversary of No Man's Sky's release. Okay, well, I've got it to the juicy bit. Here we go. Let's turn them up, shall we? There we go. Turn that up. There we go.
That right there was No Man's Sky, a game we announced 10 years ago with this guy right here, Sean Murray. Sean, looks like the content keeps rolling in 2024. But what does the next decade look like?
So, No Man's Sky was announced 10 years ago on this stage. Okay, so the announcement of Light No Fire is also announced 10 years from the announcement of No Man's Sky. So the announcement of Light No Fire, 10 years to the announcement of No Man's Sky. So I'm thinking, and this is actually a theory from Ominous Gaunt, so full credit to Ominous Gaunt. Ominous Gaunt said, well, if they're doing the announcement 10 years to the day, what if they did the release date 10 years from the day? And I think he's got a freaking good point.
Hello, games.
Well, to start with, next year is going to be a really big year for No Man's Sky. Like I said, I've been working on it for 10 years now.
10 years.
And I still really love it, still really enjoy it. But what people don't know is that for the last 5 years, we've been working on something new.
Another game.
Yeah, something very different, something maybe more ambitious. You know, for...
Here we go. Tell us a bit about it, Sean.
Well, for No Man's Sky, we generated a whole universe of kind of sparse, alien-looking planets. And that wasn't easy, you know, it was hard, but there is something that's much harder that we wanted to do. For our new game, we wanted to create an Earth, you know, something as varied, a planet that is as varied as a universe, something bigger than Earth, something with, you know, mountains, real mountains, not video game mountains, but mountains that are miles high, taller than Everest, that when you climb to the top of them and look out, you can see rivers and canyons and continents, you know, you can see oceans.
So is this like an open world planet kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, the first real open world, right? Something without boundaries. And we're going to let everyone play in it together. It's, you know, a place where people can live out their sort of adventures together.
Well, we can't wait to take a look at it. We have anything tonight or future? Or?
Yeah, so we have a trailer.
Oh.
And, you know, it's quite a small team that's working on it. Yeah. There's about a dozen of us. Actually, everyone's here. Everyone from the team is here. We're
very excited to share this. You and I have been talking about this one for years.
Yeah, we're super nervous, you know, but really excited. If, you know.
Did you hear that? He said we're going to be talking about this one for years, right?
For years.
Yeah, we're super nervous. Everyone from the team is here. We're
very excited to share this. You and I have been talking about this one for years.
Yeah, we're super nervous, you know, but really excited. If, you know, if people like it.
5 years,
this is a game I would like to still be updating 10 years from now.
10 years from now.
So Game Awards 2033.
2033.
We'll be back. But no, let's take a look. This is such an incredible project, and I'm honored that we get to show it up. Should we do it, Sean?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go.
Okay, and then they play the Light No Fire trailer. Now, for those people that are new to my channel and probably don't know what Light No Fire is, I could replay that trailer. The only thing is, it has got copyrighted music in it. So you know what? Let's put back on my Winamp and let's hit up Light No Fire to make it nice and large. And I'm just going to shut the music off completely. So it's a procedural Earth, like Sean said. It's got multiple biomes and it's seamless, so there's no loading screens. I think this ball thing in the background here, some sort of player hub. All this was captured in multiplayer online. Now, if you've played multiplayer in No Man's Sky, you would know that multiplayer in No Man's Sky almost feels like a bolt-on extra, and it's a little bit broken in places. I say in places. It's very rare that me and 3 friends can run the weekend mission without one of us falling out of group or something weird happening, or there being a bug or a glitch that stops us from actually completing the weekend mission in some instances, or I get stuck in a tree or something. But anyway, I'm a little bit nervous when he says about everybody's going to be playing at once on this seamless planet for a couple of reasons. One, the multiplayer in No Man's Sky. 2, if it is as big as an Earth, what's the chances of you coming across other players or even NPCs that are interesting or places of interest that are interesting? I mean, inside of this trailer, you see them going across swathes and swathes of landscape, and it almost feels like, well, there's a lot of filler here to get you to the next point of interest. How far apart are these points of interest, you know? Now, there is a lot of interest. It's like this giant golem waking up as the players walk towards it. Now, this is called Light No Fire. He's got a torch in his hand. Is there something about lighting beacons and torches? And the reason why I mention beacons is because the latest update to No Man's Sky was called Beacon, and Hello Games and Sean and the Murrays retweeted this over on the Light No Fire page. No, there's one of those round balls again that I think might be something to do with multiplayer. He also retweeted it over on the X, Twitter page, whatever we want to call it this week. The same emoji. And he's not done that before. Now, for me, because he'd done that, I thought we was going to see something at Summer Games Fest. I thought there was some news coming on the horizon, considering that Summer Games Fest is hosted by the man himself, Jeff Keighley. I thought we might have seen at least another trailer, learned a little bit about what the minimum spec would be for Light No Fire, what platforms it was coming to. We learned nothing. We've learned nothing new. So at the moment, we don't even know what the premise is of this game. I mean, why are we on this giant planet? What's the end goal? Is there an end boss? Is there like Avenger from Dungeon Master or Mumra the Ever-Living? We have no idea. With No Man's Sky, it was to get to the center of the universe. To what end? To do the Atlas's bidding. But yeah, I don't think we know enough or have seen enough of Light No Fire. I mean, yes, I'm excited for it because it's by the same people who made No Man's Sky, my favourite game of all time. But what else? What else is there to be excited for other than that? I mean, we've got a beautiful world, don't get me wrong, it looks great. But I want to understand just how populated it is and how it's made interesting, how it's different and more ambitious than other games that are out there. I mean, it is an open, seamless world, which, come to think of it, there's not many other games that are doing that and doing it as well, is there? Not to the amount of variety that we're seeing inside of that trailer. So, hats off to them. Salutamondo, Hello Games. Can't wait to see more. I wish we saw more, but we didn't see more, did we? That's the problem. And I need to get back to my poll and the results. One moment. Right, well, I'm back on screen. Let me just move over there so you can see the actual results. So Summer Games Fest isn't over yet. It's pretty much is now. It pretty much is. I don't think, if we haven't seen it now, we're not going to see it. 21% of people were still hopeful at the time of this poll. That hope has dwindled. That hope has been squashed. Anyway, hope to see more at the Game Awards. Still hope for a 2025 release, and 13% of people feel that way. 10 years release date holds merit. Could be right. 48% of people feel that way. Want to see poll results. 19% of people. So I think everybody has sort of hedged their bets that we're going to see a lot more happen for Light No Fire in 2026. And we'll probably get the release date of Light No Fire 10 years from the day that No Man's Sky released, which will be August of 2026, people inside the viewerverse. And I kind of feel that that idea does hold a lot of weight and a lot of merit. So, Ominous Gaunt, I think you could be onto something then. I think a lot of people were thinking, because it was announced like 2 years ago, from the announcement trailer of No Man's Sky to its release, the release date actually slipped a lot for No Man's Sky. As you know, there was delay after delay, and then there was a flood and a delay. So the official release date and the actual release date were two different things. So I think a lot of people were hoping 2025 would be the year, and sadly it hasn't been. Or at least it's not looking likely. Because say if Hello Games was to announce it in the next couple of months or whatever, they've still got to then do pre-orders. They've got to announce what platform it's on, minimum spec, all that sort of stuff. I just don't think they're there yet, you know? I don't think they're there yet. I think they're well off. If it was coming out in 2025, I think we would have seen more activity on their Steam page, more activity on their website. We haven't seen any of that. And there's a lot of this echoed inside the community over here. Summer 2026 release has been my working assumption since January, says Chowlin. And I think I started to move that way as well in around about, I mean, I've always thought it would be summer of 2025, mainly because my math in my head just wasn't quite right. I kind of thought this year was their 10th anniversary, people, and it's not. I'm currently in a corner holding a picture of Sean Murray swaying backwards and forwards, saying it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Light No Fire just needs to cook a little longer. Tears from my left eye, says Professor Cynical. I think we've all got that sort of feeling, to be fair. I mean, although that I've got quite an extensive wish list, a lot of those games are for 2025, and some of them have even got demos out now. A lot of them are coming out in 2026. You've got Grand Theft Auto, apparently pigeonholed for 2026. 2026 could be quite a busy year for Light No Fire to release. 2025 has just felt a little bit empty, a little bit lackluster for games, in my opinion. I mean, yes, we had Doom the Dark Ages, but that turned out to be a little bit of a nothing burger. It wasn't as good as the trailers in any way, shape or form, or at least I don't feel it was. It just didn't hit right. Didn't hit right, and a lot of games just aren't hitting right for me. It's a bit of a shame. Light No Fire was definitely one I was really looking forward to, people inside the viewerverse. Is there anything on your wish lists that you think should be on my wish list? Sound off in the comments, let me know. I am looking for things to pick up and play, but there's nothing that entertains me as much or gets me as hooked as much as No Man's Sky, and I think that's going to be a very tall order. There's a couple of games inside of that list that have a chance, like The Light of Motiram and also The Guardians of the Wild Sky. Those two games look like they're doing almost as much and are quite ambitious titles, and they look like they're trying to do a little more than the copy and pasted titles out there, but it looks like they're heavily influenced by a lot of other games. So are they super ambitious, or are they just hybrids? That needs to be tested and understood before I'm going to get super excited with any of those games on that wish list, to be fair, people inside the viewerverse. Is there anything in my wish list that's also on your wish list and that you're super happy to see that has made it onto mine? Again, sound off in the comments, let me know. And as always, people, I'll see you next time. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again.
Oh,